It's great to see you.
Well, it's always great to see you. I always look forward to us talking.
Well, you have had a whirlwind of, your years continue to be whirlwind, but you were at Dollywood taping this new movie, Christmas themed. Let me tell you, our viewers are going crazy over the celebrity cameos. They're sending us pictures of Willie Nelson and Jimmy Fallon. So let's start with the movie. What can you tell us about it, and what can people expect to see?
I think they're going to be excited about it. It's done from Dollywood, and it's called Mountain Magic Christmas. And I wrote a song called Mountain Magic years and years ago, and I just was trying to think what would be a good title for it. And so I drug that old song out of a barrel somewhere, and I thought, oh, this is perfect. And I wanted to do it at Dollywood. I wanted to have, all my family around and kind of be there in the Smokies. And I know, as you know, knowing Dollywood like you do, it's like a movie set. There's some of everything. Like when I did the song with Jimmy Fallon, we did it at Red's Cafe, the 50s diner. Worked out perfect. And, of course, with Willie Nelson, we worked at the old grist mill, inside of that. And when I did Zach Williams, we worked at the Robert F. Thomas Chapel. And so all of the ones we tried to find a special spot on the park that would kind of, work well with that particular artist. So it worked out really good. So we had Jimmy Fallon, Willie Nelson, Billy Ray Cyrus, Miley Cyrus, Jimmy Allen, and Zach Williams. That's our 6 great guests that we have, in addition to tons of comedy, a lot of wonderful songs, uplifting things. So I think it's going to be very entertaining.
Well, let's talk about the challenge of shooting at a theme park. You've shot things there before. Usually it's after hours or when the park is not open to guests. It's much harder.
It is
to shoot a movie when you have guests. But talk about that. Was that to add to the guest experience? And
yes.
To see a movie set. A lot of people don't have that opportunity.
They don't, and we wondered if they would be put out with the fact that there were certain areas we had to close off while we were shooting. But we gave all the people there just to say, well, you're welcome to come watch, see what we're doing, and the rest of the park is open because we would just be in certain areas at different times. But they seemed to love it. Nobody complained, and they felt like they were part of it. In fact, we actually did have a lot of people in the park that signed little releases in case they were on camera that it was okay, for them to be on camera. But we had to stage it to where all the areas that we used, they had to be dressed like in sweaters or jackets or whatever. So we had a lot of my fans that really took part in being in the shows, either in the audience when we had audience shots. They had to dress, the part like it was wintertime or whatever. But it was just fun doing it, and it really lended itself great.
Will you do a big premiere like you've done in the past?
Yes, we're going to do a big premiere from Dollywood at the end of November.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
You've got so many projects, and it's hard to get it all in a short amount of time. I want to talk about the new documentary, Still Working 9 to 5. Looks at the 40-year evolution of workplace discrimination, gender inequities, inequality. 1980, the movie came out. Your song came out. Why do you think the film and the song still resonates?
Well, I think women are still fighting for their rights, for the equal pay and the better hours and all. But we've come a long way since the movie. But this documentary really shows more of what it was like then. Even we got some old footage of even back before the movie 9 to 5 of women working like that. I'm sure you've seen it, and it's done really well. And so it's really like just trying to draw attention to and still using the best of what we did at 9 to 5 and the changes that we did help make. Had interviews with Jane and with Lily and with me, and then the song that goes along with it, redoing 9 to 5 with Kelly Clarkson, which was a great thrill and joy for me. So I'm hoping the documentary does well. It was put together with some great people, and our Steve Summers, as you know, was involved in the production of that as well.
It still seems to be an anthem, if you will, the 9 to 5. And I heard the remake with Kelly Clarkson last week.
Did you hear it?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
What was your reaction when you heard it for the first time?
I loved just her voice and getting to sing with her and having her agree to be part of that, was really major. And I thought our voices blended really well, but, she would make anybody sound good.
Well,
yeah.
It was fantastic, and it was very different. I didn't know what to expect, but I really enjoyed it. You have a greatest hits album coming out. You got a lot of hits.
Rhinestone,
and they're all great.
Diamonds and Rhinestones. Anyway, it's really a lot of the biggest songs we've had, and some that are not as familiar, but we've put together a really good album. People always seem to love the best of albums, and this one really covers all of that. It goes all the way back through my career, all the way back to kind of the beginning in Nashville here.
Yeah. We had a fun time last week talking about the new Doggy Parton.
Oh, yeah.
The dog. We've talked a lot about different things. Do you have a pet? Was this inspired by a
Well,
pet?
I love animals, and of course, all my family, we've grown up with animals, as you know. And my husband and I had, for years, a little Boston Terrier, and we loved it. It was our little house dog. And now the little dog, Billy the kid that's in there with me, he's kind of my god dog. He belongs to Danny Nozell, my manager. And I've just claimed him, though. So he's the one that poses with all the outfits and all. But having a Doggy Parton line of stuff is perfect. And we'll eventually have things for kitties, too.
Yeah, you don't want to leave them out, yeah.
No, we don't. We'll have that as part of our whole deal. But it was just a clever name, too.
Well, I mean, you've got the dog feature, you've got baked goods. What else is out there? You have perfume. I mean,
well, there's tons of stuff, because when you get my age and when you build a name, they call it your brand. So because you have that brand, they know it'll sell because people are familiar with it. They know they can pretty much trust the product. So they're coming at us, and then you sign contracts and things to use your brand for certain things that you believe in. And so no telling what all I'm going to be doing. I want my line of wigs and my line of cosmetics, too.
Absolutely.
Soon. And I'll have my own line of clothes, and we got all sorts of things going, but we'll find out.
Well, I want to talk about the post on Instagram honoring Queen Elizabeth. You all had the chance to meet.
I did. I'm one of the people that was lucky enough to get to meet her back years and years ago. We did a country music tour, and she was sitting in the audience, and in her special place. But anyway, she welcomed us and seemed to enjoy the music, and she was so gracious when we got to meet her. We were all just scared to death we was going to make a wrong move, not bow and curtsy and do all the things we were supposed to, but she just made us all feel comfortable. Like I'm sure she's laughing inside how clumsy some of us were with it, but she knew we were trying. But she was very sweet and warm. I remember that about her.
Yeah. I know Run, Rose, Run. We talked a whole lot about that the last time that we spoke. It's great, by the way. I listened to it on Audible, and I enjoyed the recordings. There's a film adaptation for that?
Yes. In fact, we just got our first draft of it this week to read and make corrections, and we're hoping to start filming that like in the summer next year.
Okay. Can you say who all's going to be in it?
No, not yet.
Okay.
We have to wait till we approve the script before we start saying who
Casting.
might be great in it. But we'll get a great cast, no doubt.
Yeah. All right, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the big induction is coming up. Let's talk about that.
Okay, well, I've written a song for it.
Okay.
And they've allowed me to do it because it's kind of telling that whole little story where I'm doing a song, which I'm going to do a rock album by the same title. It's called Rockin'. And I've been rocking since the day I was born, kind of talking about Elvis and Jerry Lee and all the things I grew up with. But anyway, I'm going to do a rock and roll album and drag in some of those great rock artists. Some are in the Hall of Fame, some are not. But anyway, I'm going to do it. I'm going to perform on the show and accept it graciously, like I said I would.
Yes.
I just would have bowed out if some other great rock artist could have got more votes, but that wasn't to be, so I got it, and I'm going to accept it.
So what's next? I mean, do you have any downtime? Are you going to rest at all? Sometimes at the end of the year you do.
I rest in between times. I'm at the place in my life, if I just really want to take some time off, I just say, hey, I'm not working this and this. October's my favorite month, so don't book me unless it's an absolute emergency in October. So I'm at that place where I can say, I need a weekend, I need a long weekend, I've got to take from Wednesday to Monday off or whatever, and then they work around that.
October, your favorite month? Fall
It
leaves,
is.
the fall season.
Love
What do you like
the
to do
fall.
in October?
I like to go back home and see the Smoky Mountain leaves, but other places too. I just love the fall of the year. Yeah. I love the month of May and October, my two favorite months.
How's Carl Dean?
Carl's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still funny and still hanging in there.
Anything else you want to say to East Tennessee? I know we just talked all about the expansion at Dollywood and gosh, new hotels and a new roller coaster and
Oh, we got a lot going.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of wonderful people that are helping make those dreams come true and keeping them all maintained. And I'm out doing my part. But I really just mostly want to say again that I'm excited about the Christmas thing. That's what's coming up big next. And it's a 2-hour show. It's a movie within a movie. It's a show within a movie, I guess. It's about the behind the scenes, what it takes to really put a show together. Shows all the disasters and all the aggravations and all the fun and crazy things. And so it's really entertaining. I think people are going to enjoy. I get to do a lot of things I haven't had a chance to do in a Christmas show before.
like what?
Well, there's a lot of comedy where I don't want to give it away. I want people to enjoy it, but where I'm having to do an over-the-top. CNBC, I'm saying they want Hollywood. This is Dollywood, and I'm not doing it. I'm just not going to do some things that are just so over the top that I feel silly doing them. And so it's the stuff that comes like backstage. I'm arguing with the people. I'm not doing it. I said I'm not. And you can't make me. This is so and so. But it's a lot of comedy, and it's all planned and written, of course. But I think people are going to get a kick out of just seeing what it's like to put a show together. Because I'm the producer and I'm one of the executive producers, which means you have to make sure the music's right, the costumes, the dancers, and so we've got some of everything in this show.
Well, it's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Always
I
good to see
appreciate
you.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.